Imagine you wake up. It's 4 a.m. Your boss has already sent 6 messages demanding a status update on the war. You haven't eaten in 2 days. Your sandals are falling apart. And your coworker Marcus keeps stealing your grain ration. Sounds like a rough Monday, right? Well, congratulations. 2,000 years ago, a Roman legionary named Claudius Terentianus wrote almost exactly this, word for word, in a letter to his dad. History class lied to you. Romans weren't noble warriors carved from marble. They were overworked, underpaid employees who complained about their managers, just like you do on Reddit at 2 a.m. Let's meet them. In 100 AD, a soldier named Claudius Terentianus wrote a letter to his father from Egypt. Archaeologists found it. It survived to millennia. You know what he wrote? I have been transferred to a different unit without warning. My equipment is broken, and nobody will give me new gear unless I pay for it myself. That is a LinkedIn complaint post. That is our handiwork. That man was one bad performance review away from quiet quitting the Roman Empire. He also asked his dad to send him better sandals, because the ones the army gave him were terrible. 2,000 years of human civilization, and the military still can't figure out footwear. He wasn't alone. Archaeologists found hundreds of these letters, preserved in the dry Egyptian desert like a time capsule of workplace suffering. Soldiers complaining about late pay, about unfair assignments, about one guy who always got promoted even though everyone knew he was the centurion's favorite. Sound familiar? The Roman army had a complaint system. It was called talking to your centurion. The centurion was also the person you were complaining about, so that went well. One surviving letter from a soldier named Appian, written around 107 AD, describes walking 12 hours to file a complaint, being told to come back tomorrow, and then walking 12 hours home. That's a Roman HR department. Your ticket has been received. Expected response time. Never. Pay was also a disaster. Roman soldiers received their salary 3 times a year, but before they got it, the army automatically deducted the cost of their food, equipment, and, I am not making this up, burial club fees, just in case you died, which, given the job, was statistically likely. Net result. After all deductions, many soldiers received almost nothing, just like a modern paycheck after taxes, health insurance, and that for a 1K contribution you signed up for drunk at the company orientation. Soldiers signed a contract for 25 years. 25 years. No vacation, no remote work option, no mental health days. What they did have, a strict rule that you could not get married during your service. This was official Roman army policy for centuries. Generals believed married soldiers would be distracted and want to go home. So they just banded. Soldiers got around this by having unofficial families anyway. Archaeologists near Roman forts keep finding women's jewelry, children's toys, and small houses that definitely were not official. Everyone knew. Nobody said anything. It was the Roman version of don't ask, don't tell, but for having a family. Meanwhile, your company policy says you can leave at 5 p.m., but your manager schedules a sync at 4:45 every single Thursday. Same energy. In modern workplaces, office politics might mean someone takes credit for your idea in a meeting. Annoying, career damaging, but survivable. In Rome, Office politics killed approximately 17 emperors in a single 50-year period called the Crisis of the 3rd Century. That's one emperor murdered roughly every 3 years by co-workers, usually their own bodyguards. The Praetorian Guard, Rome's elite imperial security force, literally auctioned off the emperor's job once. In 193 AD, they killed Emperor Pertinax and then held a bidding war for who got to be emperor next. A wealthy senator named Didius Julianus won. He lasted 66 days before they killed him too. Imagine your company's security team firing the CEO and then selling the CEO role to the highest bidder on LinkedIn. That's Rome. And the worst part? None of this was unusual. Roman senators accepted this as just how the job worked. Yes, emperors sometimes get murdered by their staff. That's the risk you take in leadership. The exit interview process was a little intense. Here's the thing nobody tells you about ancient Rome. They built the most powerful empire in Western history. Roads that still exist, laws that shaped modern democracy, architecture that still stands after 2,000 years. And they did, all of it while writing angry letters to their dads about terrible sandals and complaining. That Gaius from accounting got promoted again even though his numbers were garbage. Nothing has changed. The sandals got better. The complaints stayed exactly the same. That soldier Claudius, who wrote to his dad, his letter was found in a garbage dump in Egypt. He threw it away, or someone did, and yet it survived longer than every complaining mail you've ever sent, every angry tweet you've ever deleted, every Glassdoor review you've written anonymously. 2,000 years from now, if anyone digs up our civilization, they're going to find Reddit, and they're going to read our handiwork, and they're going to think, these people were exactly like us. Because we are. We always have been. If you want more proof that ancient people were basically just us in costume, subscribe. Next week we're looking at how the ancient Maya had what might be the most brutal performance review system in human history. Spoiler, you did not want to be on a performance improvement plan in 800. See you there.